Hey everybody. I'm on my lunch break here. It's Monday, February. I think I would know what date it is by now. It's the 11th. I've only been writing it on all my charts all morning. But I wanted to say thank you to all the people that have done lovely things like send me cards even at work or cards at home, and who checked in on me and who read my blog post and just generally have been wonderful and supportive. Cancer does weird things to people. It does weird things to the people who are experiencing it, but I think it also does strange things to the people who May wants to play with Rocket. He's not having it. Strange things to the people who care. I can tell that people want to ask what's going on with me, and they don't. So I get it that it's almost like a train wreck. Like, cancer can do really bad things. Cancer kills people. So I wanted to just get it out there that this is not life-threatening for me. This is going to be the equivalent of a week off work and a whole lot of stress. But thankfully, it's not life-threatening. If you don't know the whole story, Rocket's grumpy. If you don't know the whole story, my doctor on my routine physical exam found a nodule on my thyroid. I can actually feel it. It's right about here. It's about 1 centimeter in size. She found it on routine physical, ordered an ultrasound. The ultrasound was suspicious. From there, they did a biopsy, which is a whole nother story. It was kind of a production. And as a veterinarian, I was a little shocked they made such a production out of it. But 2 days after my biopsy, the doctor called and said that I had cancer. Hey, Rocket! Hey! Look. No, that's not necessary. We don't need to hear about it. He's barking at a staff member walking around behind us. Yeah, these are the troubles that I have with my Rocket. He says I'm a little reactive. But anyway, the nodule that I have is cancerous. It's called a papillary thyroid carcinoma. It's sorry for the jiggly, it's very wimpy cancer, and in the majority of cases it's going to be cured with surgery. So I saw 2 different surgeons who operate at 2 different hospitals. I chose the surgeon that I liked the most, and that was also actually the surgeon who did my own doctor's thyroidectomy. She and I decided together that I'm going to have half my thyroid out instead of the whole thyroid, because I'm pretty keen on not needing medication afterwards and not needing to stay in the hospital overnight. So next Monday, February 18th, I will go to Heritage Valley, Sewickley, and I'll have an outpatient partial thyroidectomy, maybe is the phrase, or hemithyroidectomy. So they're going to take the half of the thyroid that has the nodule. And then pending histopath results, I likely won't need any other treatment. So we will continue to monitor the other side, because there are some nodules on the other side, but they look very boring and benign. So we will just monitor those, follow up on those with ultrasound. Possibility I might need the other half of my thyroid out someday. But I've been taking it one day at a time, and everybody's like, "Whoa, how have you been so calm?" And, what can I do to help? And how are you feeling? And I appreciate that so much. I'm feeling fine. I ran 4 miles this weekend. I'm training the dogs. Angela and I did a really hardcore cardio kickboxing class at the YMCA last night. Like, physically I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not sick. But I do need to have this nodule removed, and it's going to put me out of work for about a week. And that's the story. And this may be the only video I do, or this might turn into a whole series. There's a real popular song on the radio right now, on K-Love anyway, and the repeating phrase is something, I'm going to paraphrase, "We will overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony." This is my testimony. It might be the only testimony. It might turn into a series, but it can't. I think God puts you in places, and you have experiences, and if you don't share them, if you don't give your testimony, you can't help anybody else. And I feel comfortable and confident and in a place that I think that I'm calm enough that my testimony, if it's helpful to one person, helpful in any way, but more than anything in a way that might bring them closer to Christ, that's why I'm doing this. So that's my why. I know a lot of you are behind that, and some of you are like, that's complete horse pucky, whatever. But that's part of how I've been so calm. So happy to talk about anything else that's going on. You know me, I like to tell stories, so I could tell you stories about my biopsy, about my experience with the health system in the United States and how it differs from the veterinary system. And speaking of, there's a great book by a veterinarian named Dr. Sarah Brown who had thyroid cancer. She lived in Canada. She actually specializes in cancer surgery for dogs and cats. And then she went through the thyroid surgery thing. And I thought maybe I would share the book with my family, but her journey was a lot rockier than I expect mine to be. So I would caution you that if you do read Dr. Brown's book, I really don't think my journey is going to look anything like that. But she compares and contrasts how the Canadian health system handled her versus like how she would handle one of her own patients. And I thought it was really fascinating, and it kind of brought to light with me too, like how this is so very different than what might happen in a veterinary specialty hospital. But that's the only lens through which I have to see it. So now I'm rambling, but I wanted to again thank everybody for your support. I wanted to just air it all out. Nobody has to be afraid to ask me any questions. I mean, you can ask me whatever. Like I said, I know cancer does weird things, and it turns, simple situations into like the train wreck that like, well, like I don't want to upset her, and I don't want to ask, and well, she seems fine, she looks good, and I get that all the time. You look great, and I'm like, yes, good. So you could tell me I look great anytime, even when I don't have cancer. Like once this is gone, you can totally tell me that anytime, because I work really hard for that. But I hope that you all are having a lovely Monday. Like I said, this may be the only thing I do. Rocket's about to bark at someone else. This may be the only thing I do, or this may turn into a series. But if you have any specific questions, I'm more than happy to chat them out. I love you guys. Take care.